Members, if you could take your seats, please. We're going to begin by calling the roll to establish the quorum so that we can identify members who are absent and ask the Sergeant-at-Arms to locate those members and bring them back to the chambers. Mr. Secretary, I'm going to ask you to call the roll, and members, I am going to ask you to please indicate your presence by simply saying "here," and that way we'll be able to round up a full complement of members. Secretary, call the roll.
Onnested, Alquist, Ashburn, Blakesley, Calderon, Cedillo, Cogdill, Corbett, Correa, Denham, DeSaulnier, Ducheney, Dutton, Emerson, Flores, Hancock, Harmon, Hollingsworth, Huff, Kehoe, Leno, Liu, Lowenthal, Negrete McLeod, Padilla, Pavley, Price, Romero, Runner, Smidian,
Here.
Steinberg, Strickland, no Strickland, Walters, Wolk, Wright, Weiland, Yee.
Senator Denham. Members, if I could have quiet in the chamber, please. Senator Denham. Could we ask the Sergeant-at-Arms to locate Senator Denham and bring him to the chambers, please? Senator DeSaulnier, are you in the chambers? You are. Thank you, sir. Senator Hollingsworth. If we could ask the Sergeant-at-Arms to please find Senator Hollingsworth and let him know he's needed in the chambers immediately, please. Senator Strickland. If we could ask the Sergeant-at-Arms to find Senator Strickland and let him know he's needed in the chambers immediately, please. And Senator Yee. If we could ask the Sergeant-at-Arms to locate Senator Yee and let him know that he is needed immediately in the chambers. Senator Denham. Senator Hollingsworth. Senator Strickland. Senator Yee. All right, a quorum having been established. Senator Denham is here. Thank you very much. Quorum has been established. Our first item of business, Mr. Secretary. ACA 4. Senator Ashburn, are you presenting on this item, sir? We'll ask the Secretary to please read while we correct the board. Who needs to make what? I understand you have a motion to make at this time.
Yes, Mr. President, there is a resolution at the desk requesting permission to invoke the Constitution. This request has been approved by the Rules Committee, and I urge your adoption of the resolution.
Secretary, please read.
Resolved that Assembly Constitutional Amendment 4 presents a case of urgency as that term is used in Article 4, Section 8B of the Constitution, and the provision of that section requiring that the bill be read on 3 several days in each House is hereby dispensed with, and it is ordered that said bill be read the second and third times, considered engrossed, and placed upon its passage.
Senator Ashburn, are you presenting on this item?
I am.
Please Secretary, please read.
Assembly Constitutional Amendment 4 by Assembly members Gatto and Nilo, enacting to state finance.
And Secretary will please read for a third and final time.
Assembly Constitutional Amendment 4 by Assembly members Gatto and Nilo, enacting to state finance.
Thank you for your patience. Senator Ashburn, please proceed.
Thank you, Mr. President. Senators, this is the constitutional amendment that would go before the voters to establish a strengthening of the rainy day fund, establishes a general fund spending limit, and establishes a 20-year revenue trend as the basis for the limit. The public asks us why we have these budget problems, why we have deficits, why we have delays. And part of the solution is that in better times, we have not set aside funds for the more difficult financial times. This is a reasonable measure to establish a rainy day reserve and a spending limit, and it will be up to the voters to decide if this is the right thing to do to establish a prudent reserve and a spending restraint that will provide for more budget stability in the future. I ask for your aye vote.
Debate or discussion on this item? Seeing and hearing none, Secretary, call the roll.
Onnested, Alquist, aye. Ashburn,
Aye.
aye. Blakesley, aye. Calderon, aye. Cedillo, Cogdill, aye. Corbett, Correa, aye. Denham, DeSaulnier, DeCheney, aye. Dutton, aye. Emerson, aye. Flores, aye. Hancock, no. Harmon, aye. Hollingsworth, Huff, aye. Kehoe, aye. Leno, Liu, aye. Lowenthal, aye. Negrete McLeod, aye. Oropesa, Padilla, aye. Pavley, aye. Price, aye. Romero, aye. Runner, aye. Smidian,
Aye.
aye. Steinberg, aye. Strickland, Walters, aye. Wolk, aye. Wright, aye. Wyland, aye. Yee. Yee, no.
Ayes 27, noes 2. Senator Flores moves the call. Next up, Senator Steinberg, what would you like the order of business to be at this point? Senator Ducheney? This is Senate Bill 855. Members, this item is being taken up without reference to file. Senate Bill 855. Senator Ducheney, one moment, please. Mr. Secretary, please read.
Senate Bill 855 by the Committee on Budget and Fiscal Review, enacting to resources, making an appropriation therefore, and declaring the urge thereof to take effect immediately.
Thank you very much. Mr. President and members, this is the Resources Trailer Bill. It makes various changes to implement portions of the budget and most significantly generates revenues necessary to timely cite new renewable energy projects, thereby creating new jobs and providing clean power, as well as provides greater fiscal oversight of various high-profile programs, requiring the governor next year to submit zero-based budgets for both AB 32 and the Delta, among other miscellaneous provisions relating to the Energy Fund and underground injection reporting program and water monitoring and other things that relate to Parks Department, Resources Departments. Ask for your aye vote.
Debate or discussion? Seeing and hearing none, Secretary, call the roll.
Onnested, Alquist, aye. Ashburn, aye. Blakesley, Calderon, aye. Cedillo, Cogdill, aye. Corbett, aye. Correa, Denham, no. DeSaulnier, aye. Ducheney, aye. Dutton, aye. Emerson, aye. Flores, Hancock, aye. Harmon, aye. Hollingsworth, Huff, Kehoe, aye. Leno, aye. Liu, aye. Lowenthal, aye. Negrete McLeod, aye. Padilla, aye. Pavley, aye. Price, aye. Romero, aye. Runner, aye. Smidian, aye. Steinberg, aye. Strickland, no. Walters, no. Wolk, Wright, aye. Wyland, no. Yee. Yee, aye.
Call the absent members.
Onnested, Blakesley, Cedillo, Correa. Flores. Aye. Hollingsworth. Huff. Wolk. Wolk, aye.
Ayes 27, noes 2. Forgive me. Correction. Ayes 27, noes 4 on the urgency. Ayes 27, noes 4. The measure is concurred in. Senator Ducheney, which item would you like to take up next?
SB 856.
SB 856, members. Again, without reference to file. Secretary, please read.
Senate Bill 856 by the Committee on Budget and Fiscal Review, an act linked to state government, making an appropriation therefore and declaring the urge thereof to take effect immediately.
Thank you very much, Mr. President and members. This bill makes statutory changes necessary to implement the general government-related provisions, including as part of a consumer protection enforcement initiative, allows for the hiring of peace officers directly into the Healing Arts Boards to speed up investigations into egregious license violation, and allows the medical board and dental board to hire non-peace officer personnel to work on investigations, adds examination of staffing levels, increases the enterprise zone voucher application fee, a small amount to cover the Department of Housing's costs of administering that program, which has and saves money from the general fund, over $500,000 in that program, but allows it to continue doing the work it does to attract businesses to many communities, makes changes to ensure the EDD's collection enhancement system works, 5-month extension of the deadline on the UI benefits changes we made last year, requires notification to continue to the legislature to continue oversight of the appropriations to the Citizens Redistricting Commission, allocates $30 million from the Special Distribution Fund to local government projects in many communities throughout the state, and does provide some savings on mandates and local governments. Let me make one point, members, that you may have seen in the earlier version, but this version, the Brown Act mandate removal has been removed, as it were. There was a lot of discussion in conference, and we accepted at that time an LAO recommendation that there was a way to provide local government transparency through an existing constitutional amendment without having to reimburse cities at these bizarre rates that exist now for Brown Act reimbursement on the mandate. However, in the Assembly, that provision has been removed out of concern, certainly for some of the local government issues that have arisen lately, the concern of making it not statutory and leaving it to that more vague and untested constitutional manner of doing things. Many of them were not prepared to support, and therefore that particular provision that had been in this bill has been removed, but there are other mandate relief provisions. Ask for your aye vote.
Is there debate or discussion, members? Debate or discussion? Seeing and hearing none, Secretary, call the roll.
Onnested. Alquist. Aye. Ashburn. Aye. Blakesley. Calderon. Aye. Cedillo. Cogdill. Aye. Corbett. Aye. Correa. No. Denham. DeSaulnier. Aye. Ducheney. Aye. Dutton. Aye. Emerson. Aye. Flores. Aye. Hancock. Aye. Harmon. Aye. Hollingsworth. Huff. Aye. Kehoe. Aye. Leno. Aye. Liu. Aye. Lowenthal. Aye. Negrete McLeod. Aye. Padilla. Aye. Pavley. Aye. Price. Aye. Romero. I. Runner. I. Semidian.
Aye.
I. Steinberg. I. Strickland. I. Walters. No. Wolk. I. Wright. I. Wyland. I. Yee. Yee, aye.
Ayes 30, noes 2 on the urgency.
Denham, aye.
Ayes 31, noes 2 on the urgency. Ayes 31, noes 2 on the bill. The amendments are concurred in. Before we go to the next item, members, let me call on Senator Alquist. Senator Alquist, for what purpose do you rise, ma'am?
Thank you, Mr. President. Under motions and resolutions, I'd like to submit a letter to the Journal, cleared on both sides, that clarifies the intent of SB 208, which we just passed, the Medi-Cal waiver bill, and it specifically clarifies how public hospitals will be paid through the $500 million in general fund savings.
Thank you, Senator Alquist. Confirming with both sides of the aisle, the letter has been approved. The letter will be submitted. Thank you. Senator Duchesne.
Similarly, Mr. Chairman, I do have, Mr. President, I do have another letter to submit to the Journal on Senate Bill 931, which was passed earlier this year and has been signed by the governor, but it clarifies the intent of the bill, and I understand it has been cleared by both sides and would ask for permission to submit it.
Thank you. This is in reference to SB 931.
931.
We're confirming with both sides that the letter has indeed been approved. Having been approved, the letter will be duly submitted. Thank you, Senator Duchesne. Senator Duchesne, do you have another item to take up at this time?
I don't think so, do I?
Then one moment, please, while we go back to Senator Steinberg and ask.
36 on the floor. He's got everybody.
Members, we have a number of items on call. Senator Steinberg, I understand that you are requesting that we lift the call on AB 1611. Secretary, please lift the call on AB 1611 and call the absent members.
Onnested. Emerson. Aye. Huff. Pavley. Aye. Hancock. No to aye.
Call the absent members.
Onnested. Huff.
Could we have all members on the floor, please? All members on the floor. Call the absent members.
Onnested. Huff.
Please call the absent members.
Onnested. Huff.
And call the absent members.
DeSaulnier, no to aye.
DeSaulnier, no to aye. Wyland, no to aye.
No to aye.
Call the absent members.
Onnested? Huff? Denham we have as no.
Ayes 25, noes 10. Senator Duchesne replaces the call. Is there a request to lift the call on any other items? Members, AB 1612. This is file item 10, AB 1612. Call the absent members.
Hollingsworth? Huff?
Call the absent members.
Hollingsworth? Huff?
Members, this is file item 10, AB 1612, Human Services. Please call the absent members. Members, this is a 27-vote bill.
Onnested? Hollingsworth? Huff? Oropesa? Wiggins?
Please call the absent members.
Onnested? Hollingsworth? Huff? Oropesa? Wiggins?
Please call the absent members.
Onnested? Hollingsworth? Huff? Oropesa? Wiggins?
Call the absent members.
Onnested? Hollingsworth? Huff? Oropesa? Wiggins?
Call the absent members.
Onnested? Hollingsworth? Huff? Oropesa? Wiggins?
Call the absent members.
Onnested? Hollingsworth? Huff? Oropesa? Wiggins?
Call the absent members.
Onnested? Hollingsworth? Huff? Oropesa? Wiggins?
Call the absent members.
Onnested? Hollingsworth? Huff? Oropesa? Wiggins?
Call the absent members.
Onnested? Hollingsworth? Huff? Oropesa? Wiggins?
Call the absent members.
Onnested? Hollingsworth? Huff? Oropesa? Wiggins?
Call the absent members.
Onnested? Hollingsworth? Huff? Oropesa? Wiggins?
Mr. Secretary, please call the absent members.
Onnested? Hollingsworth? Huff? Oropesa? Wiggins?
Call the absent members.
Onnested? Hollingsworth? Huff? Oropesa? Wiggins? Dutton? No to aye.
No to aye. Mr. Secretary, please call the absent members.
Onnested? Hollingsworth? Huff, Oropesa, Wiggins.
Call the absent members.
Onnested, Hollingsworth, Huff, Oropesa, Wiggins.
Call the absent members.
Onnested, Hollingsworth, Huff, Oropesa, Wiggins. Hollingsworth, aye.
Ayes 27, noes 8. The bill is passed. Senator Steinberg, what item would you like to take up next? We have a number of items that remain on call. Members, we are at file item 14. This is AB 1618. File item 14, AB 1618. Mr. Secretary, please call the absent members.
Onnested, DeSaulnier, aye. Huff, Oropesa, Wiggins.
Call the absent members.
Onnested, Huff, Oropesa, Wiggins.
Call the absent members.
Onnested, Huff, Oropesa, Wiggins.
Okay, right. Once we have the... Senator Flores moves the call on file item 14, AB 1618. Senator Flores asks that we replace the call. Senator Steinberg? Members, the call has been replaced on AB 1618. One moment, please, while our leaders confer. Senator Steinberg.
Mr. President, why don't we lift the call on SB 870, which is the budget bill?
Members, we will lift the call on Senate Bill 870. This is the item that is before us without reference to file, and it is the budget bill in chief. Mr. Secretary, please call the absent members. SB 870, members.
Onnested, Cedillo, Huff, Oropesa, Wiggins.
Call the absent members.
Onnested, Cedillo, Huff, Oropesa, Wiggins.
Call the absent members.
Onnested, Cedillo, Huff, Oropesa, Wiggins. Correa, no to aye.
Call the absent members.
Onnested, Cedillo, Huff, Huff no, Oropesa, Wiggins.
Call the absent members.
Onnested, Cedillo, Oropesa, Wiggins.
Please call the absent members.
Onnested, Cedillo, Oropesa, Wiggins.
Call the absent members.
Onnested, Cedillo, Oropesa, Wiggins.
Call the absent members.
Onnested, Cedillo, Oropesa, Wiggins.
Call the absent members.
Onnested, Cedillo, Cedillo no, Oropesa, Wiggins.
Call the absent members.
Onnested, 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 Oropesa, Wiggins.
Senator Steinberg. Call the absent members. Call the absent members.
Onnested, Oropesa, Wiggins.
Mr. Secretary? Mr. Secretary, please call the absent members.
Onnested, Oropesa, Wiggins.
Call the absent members.
Onnested, Oropesa, Wiggins.
Call the absent members.
Onnested, Oropesa, Wiggins.
Senator Steinberg asked that we replace the call. Members, I believe we will next take up SB 858. Senator Duchesne, you are prepared to present? Yes?
Yes.
One moment, please. Mr. Secretary, please read.
Senate Bill 858 by the Committee on Budget and Fiscal Review, an act relating to taxation, making an appropriation therefore, and declaring the urge thereof to take effect immediately.
Members, thank you, Mr. President, and members, this bill is identical to a bill we just lifted the call on, AB 1618. That bill remains on call. However, this bill has already been passed by the Assembly, and therefore, if we concur in it, then it will be done, and they won't have to wait for 1618, which remains on call here, to go over there. So this is the bill that delays the net operating loss for 2 years, restores the cost of performance for certain for sourcing intangibles and services, and makes modifications to the understatement penalty with a 20% safe harbor. This is the revenue NOL tax cut credit bill, and we'd ask that people vote aye on this bill. And then later we can expunge 1618 so that the bill is completed. This bill has already passed out of the Assembly, so we are taking it up in that form. They passed it out sooner than we did, so it's only a substitute, if you will, for 1618. Ask for your aye vote.
Debate or discussion? Debate or discussion? Seeing and hearing none, Secretary, call the roll.
Onnested, Alquist, aye. Ashburn, aye. Blakesley, Calderon, aye. Cedillo, Cogdill, aye. Corbett, Correa, no. Denham, no. DeSaulnier, aye. Duchesne, aye. Dutton, aye. Emerson, aye. Flores, aye. Hancock, no. Harmon, aye. Hollingsworth, aye. Huff, Kehoe, aye. Leno, aye. Liu, aye. Lowenthal, aye. Negrete McLeod, Oropesa, Padilla, aye. Pavley, aye. Price, aye. Romero, aye. Runner, Semidian, aye. Steinberg, aye. Strickland, no. Walters, aye. Wiggins, Wolk, no. Wright, aye. Wyland, no. Yee, no.
Call the absent members.
Onnested, Blakesley, Cedillo, Corbett, no. Huff, Negrete McLeod, aye. Oropesa, Runner, aye. Wiggins.
Call the absent members.
Onnested, Blakesley, Cedillo, Huff, Oropesa, Wiggins.
Call the absent members.
Onnested, Blakesley, Cedillo, Huff, Oropesa, Wiggins.
Call the absent members.
Onnested, Blakesley, Cedillo, Huff, Oropesa, Wiggins.
Call the absent members.
Onnested, Blakesley, Cedillo, Huff, Oropesa, Wiggins.
Call the absent members.
Onnested, Blakesley, Cedillo, Huff, Oropesa, Wiggins.
Call the absent members.
Onnested, Blakesley, Cedillo, Huff, Oropesa, Wiggins.
Senator Steinberg asks that we replace the call. Place the measure on call. Forgive me. Senator Steinberg asks we place the measure on call. Senator Steinberg, for what purpose do you rise, sir?
What's the number of the SCA pension? SB? I'd like to take up AB 1631.
AB 1631. Members, that is file item 33. File item 133. This is AB 1631. Secretary, please read.
Assembly Bill 1631 by Assemblymember Garrick, an act relating to state employees and declaring the urge thereof to take effect immediately.
Senator Hollingsworth, you will present.
Thank you, Mr. President. Senators, this is a measure that would save the state unfunded liabilities of about $74 billion from the state portion of the PERS pension fund over the next 30 years. The changes include the repeal of SB 400 of 1999 for new employees hired on or after November 10th of this year. It would apply to all state employees that do not have a current MOU with the state and would not apply to current employees. The additional changes that this would make, in addition to the repeal of SB 400, is that it would end the pension spiking practice by calculating retirement compensation based on the last 3 years of service rather than the last year alone. Members, I'd ask for an aye vote on this important measure for California's future.
Debate or discussion? Debate or discussion? Senator Dutton.
Yeah, members, I rise because I actually would like to see some actual pension reform, and well, I think this starts moving in the proper direction. The problem I've got right now is, though, there's a current practice that seems to be taking place that we're trying to force people to it's being misused. And I think this bill is actually being misused to try to force things to happen on some of the MOUs that we've been considering. The thing that bothers me is that while it's true this repeals SB 400, which has created a great deal of added costs, but in essence what we're really doing with a lot of the MOUs we're considering and then passing, we're actually replacing it with regards to those MOUs. We're establishing new bases that frankly, in my opinion, would appear to kind of make this null and void. So I really can't support this direction because of the direction the administration currently is taking in negotiation or not negotiating some of the MOUs. Not every bargaining unit out there has a contract currently in place, and there seems to be some preferential treatment being taken on the part of the administration. And I just think that that's not a good practice. So what I'd really like to see is actually ask the administration to go and actually deal with the CCPOA and actually bring an MOU to the floor because this will end up being used, I feel, unfairly against them as a bargaining tool with the administration. So I can't support this right now. I appreciate the effort that's being made here, but I just got a feeling this is not going far enough.
Is there further debate or discussion? Further debate or discussion? All right. Without objection, the measure will be put over temporarily. Senator Steinberg, is there an item you'd like to take up at this time? Members, if I could have your attention, please. Members, we are going to recess the regular session to go into the 6th extraordinary session. We are now back in the 6th extraordinary session. Senator Ashburn asks that we lift the call on his AB 10 in the 6th extraordinary session. Forgive me. SB 22 in the 6th extraordinary session. Mr. Secretary, one moment, please. Members, could we have your attention, please? Members, we are in the 6th extraordinary session, and at the request of Senator Ashburn, we will lift the call on SB 22 in the 6th extraordinary session. Mr. Secretary, please call the absent members.
Onnested, Cedillo, Hollingsworth, Oropesa, Wiggins. Walters, aye to no. Leno, no to aye. Price, no to aye. Okay, Corbett, no to aye. Padilla, no to aye.
Which one is this? Is this volunteerism? Yes.
Lowenthal, no to aye.
Members,
Pavley.
Members, ayes 21, noes 13.
Wait. Pavley, no to aye.
Ayes 22, noes 13. Senator Steinberg replaces the call. Yeah. I understand. Senator Steinberg replaces the call. All right. Then the call has been replaced. We are going to recess the 6th extraordinary session. We are going back into regular session. We are now back in regular session for the purpose of taking up SB 866. SB 866. Members, this is without reference to file. SB 866, Senator Ducheney. Members? Senator Steinberg, this is the local government mandate securitization measure. Would you like to hold this matter over? One moment, please, members, while we sort things out here at the desk. Secretary, please read.
Senate Bill 866 by the Committee on Budget and Fiscal Review, an act relating to local government finance, making an appropriation therefore, and declaring the urgency thereof to take effect immediately.
Senator Ducheney, please proceed.
Thank you very much, Mr. President and members. This bill would authorize local governments to sell pre-2004 outstanding mandate claims for securitization by a joint powers authority. The mechanism is similar to the one used last year under Proposition 1A for property tax securitization. The amount of outstanding claims in this category is $690 million plus interest. Education mandates are excluded. This is strictly a local government option. It is not mandatory. It is an option for local governments who might want to securitize that money which the state owes them from pre-2004 mandate claims. In a way, knowing that sooner or later we're going to pay it back. they could securitize it and get the money up front all at one time during these difficult times if they needed it. It establishes a payment schedule for those mandate claims, continuously appropriates general fund consistent with a schedule that we would start paying off the $690 million debt, and authorizes a joint powers authority to purchase and securitize these, providing a fixed interest rate of 2% for any mandate claim that's so securitized. Ask for your aye vote.
Debate or discussion? Debate or discussion? Seeing and hearing none. Secretary, call the roll.
Onnested? Alquist? Aye. Ashburn? Aye. Blakesley? Calderon? Aye. Cedillo? Cogdill? Corbett? Aye. Correa? Aye. Denham? DeSaulnier? Aye. Ducheney? Aye. Dutton? Emerson? Flores? Aye. Hancock? Aye. Harmon? Aye. Hollingsworth? Huff? Kehoe? Aye. Leno? Aye. Liu? Aye. Lowenthal? Aye. Negrete McLeod? Aye. Oropesa? Padilla? Aye. Pavley? Aye. Price? Aye. Romero? Aye. Runner? Aye. Semidian?
Aye.
Aye. Steinberg? Aye. Strickland? No. Walters? No. Wiggins? Wolk? Aye. Wright? Wyland? No. Yee? Yee, aye. Denham, no.
Call the absent members.
Onnested? Blakesley? No. Cedillo? Cogdill? Dutton? Emerson? Hollingsworth? Huff? Oropesa? Wiggins? Wright?
Call the absent members.
Onnested? Cedillo? Cogdill? Dutton? Emerson? Aye. Hollingsworth? Huff? Oropesa? Wiggins? Wright?
Call the absent members.
Onnested? Cedillo? Cogdill? Dutton? Hollingsworth? Huff? Oropesa? Wiggins? Wright?
Call the absent members.
Onnested? Cedillo? Cogdill? Dutton? Hollingsworth? Huff? Oropesa? Wiggins? Wright?
Senator Ducheney moves a call. One moment, please, members, while we see which item is next to be taken up. Mr. Price, in response to your question, the answer is Friday, by the way. Senator Steinberg, how would you like to proceed at this point, Mr. President?
27 on everything would be a
Senator Steinberg, are we waiting for bills from the Assembly at this point? Senator Hollingsworth, for what purpose do you rise, sir?
I'd like to call a Republican caucus, please.
And that caucus will be in the Dave Cox Lounge. Thank you. Members, there is a Republican caucus in the Dave Cox Coffee Shop. Republican caucus.